Hi, ladies and gentlemen, kings and queens. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you can gain some information that will help you. The things that I'm going to discuss with you all and tell you all are just fables. And they're just characters in my storyline, or you can say characters in my fable. I want to start at the end, which is where I am now, the end of this fable. So we're going to start at the end and work our way to the beginning. So one of the characters' name is going to be Rose. And we're just going to say, Refined Rose. Let's just say it's me. The other character in the story, it's a male. And let's just say his name is Vince Knott. And Vince Knott has a brother called My High. We'll just say the character name is My High. And he has a son that's also named Vince Knott. So Rose met Vince Knott online. Rose met up with Vince Knott less than 9 hours later at a Star Dunk. We'll just say the name of the coffee shop is Star Dunk. Rose and Vince Knott enjoyed their coffee at Star Dunk. Rose and Vince Knott decide to further meet up. Things transpired. The Smecks, we're going to just say Smecks, was so good it was off the charts. And Vince Knott loved bum Rose, even though Rose felt like tugging in her stomach, like something's not right with this dude. Even though Rose saw Vince Knott clothless. And she noticed Vince Knott had a crybaby navel. Y'all know what them crybaby neighbors are. Them babies that be crying and they navels blow up and stick out. And some of them navels don't go back in like they should. Well, Vince Knott had a crybaby navel, except he wasn't crying. And his navel just stayed out of his body like that. So Rose didn't like that. But Rose gave Vince Knott a chance anyway. So Vince Knott is not anywhere near 70 or 80, but his body type is like a 70 or 80-year-old. To me, that's a red flag. If God ain't trying to show me you don't like crybaby navels and old man looking bodies and they nowhere near 70 or 80, I shouldn't have done it. So I did it because the Smacks, you know what I'm talking about, was off the charts. And plus, Vince Knott was love bumming me, and I wanted to feel some love somewhere. I just wanted to feel it was real. I got this character, I'm just going to say it's I. Person's name we're going to say, or the character's name is Rose. None of this is true. It's just a fable. It's just for storyline. So Rose got tired of being lonely and using her 5-finger discount to pleasure herself. So Vince Knott comes in with a great smash, and love bumming me on top of it. Honey, needless to say, we were married in less than 6 months. Way less than 6 months. Well, after Rose was over how good the sex was, well, she wasn't really over it. She just started to pay attention to things a little bit more. Vince Knott was just change all of a sudden, get snappy and get mean and say, well, things like, you're always losing stuff. I'm not always losing stuff. Actually, the person that was always losing stuff was Vince Knott. He would always lose his phone, lose his keys. he had several phones. So it was him losing things and he would project onto me. I'm like, that's weird, because I'm not always losing stuff. It's the other way around. So more stuff started to happen. He started accusing me of stuff that, wasn't even true. So he started saying stuff like out of the blue, like, oh, you think you're God's gift? Oh, you think you know everything? And what he mean by that is Vince didn't want to do everything the correct way when it involved credit and stuff like that. So if Rose's name had to go on anything, and if it's involving credit and involving Rose, good standing name and good standing credit, Rose wanted to make sure stuff was done the right way. So Rose was labeled as she thinks she's God's gift. She thinks she's a know-it-all. So I just started thinking, this guy got to be delusional or something is wrong with this guy. So Rose kept hanging out with the guy, kept going around with the guy. She was really, really, really trying to like the guy. Against all the warnings in her stomach, the stuff that she knew that was red flags. Rose went ahead and married Vince Knott anyway, in way, 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 way less than 6 months. The delusions and the behavior got worse. I'm telling y'all, this fable, this story, this made-up story, I'm starting at the end, and then we're going to work through the beginning of Rose's life. So we would go out to eat, and Vince Knott would say, go in there and order me this out of Dairy Queen. Rose goes in there and order Vince Knott the stuff out of Dairy Queen. Rose get back in the vehicle with Vince Knott. He snatches the bag out of her hand and starts screaming, this is not what I ordered. Taking the burger apart, lettuce flying everywhere. Why did you order this? This is not what I ordered. I said I did order what you ordered. Where it's missing this and it doesn't have this. So I'm trying to get the receipt out my purse. Got the receipt out my purse. And I said, it has everything in there that you ordered. No, it's not. It's missing this and it's missing that. And I'm pointing at the stuff on there that he said is missing. He said, Vince Knott said it's still not right. And went back inside. Well, what Rose didn't know, Vince Knott was working on her self-esteem and mental state. Because that would happen often when she would go order food for him. So Rose told Vince Knott she's scared to order food for him because when she ordered food for him, he freaks out, starts tearing the food apart and saying it's missing stuff that's actually there. So Rose told Vince Knott that, hey, can you just order your food because yourself? Can you just come in here with me? Because every time I go in here and order this food, it's not right. And I want to get it right because I don't want you to yell at me. No, you can order my food. You'll get it right. So this went on for a long time. It's not the only thing. So he would start random arguments and it was not rooted in reality, no truth to it at all. And one day it just clicked in my mind, this guy's delusional. So Rose told Vince Knott she thinks that he's delusional. So Vince Knott is still talking, saying just weird stuff that didn't make any sense. So Vince Knott finally got quiet. Now I know, looking back, Vince Knott didn't know what delusional meant. So after Vince Knott got done yelling at Rose and Rose telling him he was delusional, Vince Knott left. And let's just say Vince Knott liked to cook. And Vince Knott left and went and delivered some food. So Vince Knott comes back and say, I don't appreciate you calling me delusional. I'm not delusional. Don't call me delusional. So Rose thought it was over when Vince Knott came back and left. But it wasn't over with yet. So Vince Knott said, why didn't you do what I said for you to do when I get mad? You know what to do when I get mad. Okay, Vince Knott wanted Rose to put on some, we go say, bummy shorts. Because I don't know if I can say the word Booty, if that's how you spell it. But we're going to say bummy shorts, and let the hair in the crotch areas hang out the side in the crotch area out of each sides of the bummy shorts, so Vince knot can be turned on. So Vince knot is fussing, talking about, I told you what to do when I get mad, just to have some shorts on with the hair sticking out the side. So Rose didn't do this and never did do it. So Vince knot would get the cookies anyway, even though Rose wouldn't do it. So as time went on, Vince knot temper grew worse. The love bombing was still there, but the temper grew worse. So Rose started to get out of the house and to try to spend some time with Vince knot and to understand him further, and just to show how much she loved him, even knew he had that crybaby ass navel that stick out and he wasn't crying in this old man body, and he's nowhere near 70 or 80. Rose kept trying. Rose would travel with him while he go deliver his, let's say he delivered food. While he delivered his food all over, trying to beat her for him. Vince knot was explosive, exploding on people. When we go different places, Rose would try to calm him down. But see, what Vince knot didn't know, what Rose didn't know, is Vince knot had a terrible temper, and she had no idea that she was in danger in this, and that Vince knot had committed crimes. What Rose should have did is she should have checked him out thoroughly before they got together. Because Rose is only here today because she got out in the nick of time, and God spared her life because she was asking God to just help her, because she knew that the situation she was in wasn't right, and she knew her life was in danger. But see, Rose messed up and married this dude she met online, and way less in 6 months. Rushed into it. Rose bought a house in her name only because her credit was that doggone banging. Everything they had was in Rose's name. But you know, some states are community property. So since it was community property, Vince knot had to go on the lease, not the lease, on the deed. So Rose escaped that relationship only by the Most High having some grace on her, and he's using her. So how she got out of that, how she got to this point now, she's in hiding. She's hiding from Vince knot. She's safe. She's at peace. She's trying to get her life back on track because she got off track for the time being that she was married to him. And how she got to this point, Vince knot injured her badly, breaking her bone. Rose begged Vince knot to take her to the hospital because she was in great pain. Vince knot ignored her. Vince knot kept throwing temper tantrums and making remarks like, I'll smash you, Rose. I'll smash you. You don't know who you're messing with. Rose didn't know who she was messing with. So Vince knot was so angry, like he always do. Vince knot was so angry, if I didn't say that right the first time, was so angry. And like he always do, he gets in a vehicle and takes off. Rose is terrified. The only thing she can think to do and to get out of this situation is to call 911. So Rose jumped in the other vehicle, called 911 on the road, and told them that she's hurt. She need help. Her husband has just beat her up, and something's wrong with her finger. So law enforcement met her off this road. Let's just say they saw what the human body had been through that night with Vince knot. Rose ended up going to the emergency room. Excuse me, not the emergency room. Let's just say a specialist, a doctor. I don't want to say what type of specialist it is. But Rose went to a specialist, and Rose's finger was effed up, right? So they did x-rays. Come to find out, Rose's finger was broken. Vince Knott did a number on them hands. Broke one of them doggone fingers. So Rose received some type of protection order, right? That protection, even though Rose pleaded that she didn't want the protection order, but Rose didn't know. God was like, you getting this protection order. So Rose got the protection order. That gave her time to clear her mind and think. She couldn't think right. She was always being yelled at. She was constantly being put down. Just a lot of stuff. And Rose just could not think. So once she and he had ran all her friends off and her family members. She didn't have nobody to talk to. She was alone, and he isolated her and only kept her around his family members. And where they moved at, it was isolated as well. So she wasn't talking to anybody. So she was in this house alone, and all she had time to do was think. But while in the house alone, while he was arrested, do you think the abuse stopped? I was getting mentally abused, physically abused, psychologically abused. I'm saying because I'm going to be Rose in this character, because I want to be Rose in this character. I mean, in this story, or in this fable, or in this story that I'm telling that's not true. So Vince Knott has a son named Vince Knott. So while Vince Knott was arrested, he used his son to harass Rose to come to the property, cuss her out, tell her off, just some of everything, to demanding property that Rose complied with, because Rose didn't want Vince Knott Jr. to beat her up like her father did. So there was a lot of, I'm going to say, trespassing on the property. So Rose still had a hard time getting her mind right, because let's just say Vince Knott Jr. was being driven out there by his uncle, and just let's say his uncle name is Maha. We just go say, Maha. I can tell Maha really didn't want to be involved, but Maha mind ain't right, just like Vince Knott and Vince Knott Jr.'s mind isn't right. And the reason I'm saying they mind ain't right, because the stuff that they put me through, your mind can't be right. Vince Knott used to always say people got a reprobated mind, and a lot of people are bullies. But I think it's Vince Knott with the reprobated mind, and I think it's Vince Knott who's the bully. Ain't no way God is in you being a bully and having a reprobated mind at that time, or at that place you are with yourself when the things was done to me, such as beating me up before you were arrested, and me having to go into hiding because Vince Knott and Vince Knott's son would not stop harassing me. And the final straw was when they threw in some huge piece of pavement through Rose's kitchen window, and it shattered the plantation shutters. That's how hard this huge piece of pavement went through. So neighbors, and she had reached out to old friends. Only one started talking back to her at that time, or actually two. And they told Rose, you need to get the HE double hockey sticks out of there. This ninja is going to kill your ass if you don't get out of there. Rose being stubborn, saying, no, I can't leave this property. My whole life is here now. My clothes, everything is here. My credit is going to be messed up. They was like, F your clothes, F your credit. Get the F out of there. Snap out of it. So I didn't snap out of it, but I'm going to end it here. And when I repost again, I just got to remember that 2 friends told me to snap out of it and get the hell up out of there. Excuse me, HE double hockey sticks out of there. I didn't snap out of it, y'all. I stayed. Remember, this is just a fable, and I'm going to say I'm Rose. I stayed and endured more torture. Well, thank y'all for listening to this story. And if you made it to the end, that's great. That's really, really great. And I hope that those that are listening, kings and queens, that y'all learn something from my story. Until next time, you all have a wonderful day. Bye for now.